Hello, everyone. Happy free shipping day. Today is free shipping with all orders of $75 or more with Stampin' Up. And that will end tonight at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. Or if you're here in the Pacific Northwest, that will be 10:59 p.m. this evening. So I just want to give everybody a shout out, say hello. Let's see who we have on. Give everybody a minute or two to get in here. And then we will get started. I've got two projects for you this evening. Let's see if I can find me. And there we go. Here we are. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Tracy. So glad to see you tonight. Hello, Laura. We're going to just give everybody just another minute to get in here. And then we'll get started. We have one card tonight and one 3D treat box for you. And then I have another card ready to go for Thursday. Thursday's kind of up in the air. I might pre-record the video and just put it on YouTube because Abigail has a play that she's in. She's been in drama club after school for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks. And so she has her part in that. And that is at 6 p.m. So I don't know that that'll be done and I can be home by 7 or even 7:30. So I'm thinking I might pre-record, but I'll let you know. Okay. Hello, Jennifer. So glad you're here. I'm going to give everybody just one more minute and then we'll get started. As soon as my clock hits 7:03. And we'll go on. I love this little stamp set. This is on page 24 in the new Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. That's the 2024 to 2025 catalog. And it has 39 photopolymer stamps. And as soon as I saw this, I went, oh, I've got to have that. That's just so much fun. And I have been having fun making little projects for you. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start with our 3D project actually tonight. I did just make this up today. So it should be totally fresh in my mind. Now, in addition to the Choose Happy stamp set, I'm going to use the Be My Valentine stamp set. I'm using one image from here, and that's this little beehive image right there. And then I'm also using the Unbounded Love dies. And we're going to be using this die and this die. And I have already cut this out. So I've cut this die out in basic white. And I've cut this die out in Night of Navy. Okay. So let's go ahead and get our stamping done. So our little, so our stamping has time to dry. Okay, so we've got a piece of white here. That's just a scrap piece. And then we've got our two smaller pieces here. And this Night of Navy, this is actually, I cut this from this, and this is the offcut from the cardstock that we're making the box out of. So you don't have to waste it. You can use it for this, and you can get several of those, okay? So let's go ahead. This is a photopolymer stamp set. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I do need a scrap piece of paper. So let me just grab something. It doesn't matter what it is. I just know that I'm going to stamp off a little bit here. And yes, I'm still struggling, so I'm sorry. I have to keep clearing my throat, have a lot of drainage, and it's still scratchy. Okay, so we're going to take the little bee from this set, and I'm going to stamp this in basic black, or in Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm just going to put that on that circle. Okay, and then I'm going to set that aside to dry. While I've got the black out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. So I'm taking the B. I'm going to stamp this down in the corner here. Oh, a little too close to the corner. That's not going to work very well. Let's try that again. There we go. That's a little better. And then I'm going to take the happy. These are all stamps from this set. And I'm going to give myself a little bit of room on this because we're going to fussy cut this. Okay, so I've got that. And finally, we're going to take the, excuse me, the hexagon stamp from the Be My Valentine, which is one of the Encore products in the annual catalog. And we're going to use Night of Navy. And I'm just going to stamp this on either end of this little banner. Okay, I don't need to worry about the middle because I'm going to cover that up. And that is all of our stamping. So let's go ahead. We're going to bring this back in. And we're going to take our light Daffodil Delight Stampin' Write marker. Now you could do this with your Stampin' Write marker if you don't have the blends. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Actually, I am going to do that. A little bit there and a little bit at the edge there. I don't want a lot. And then I'm going to take the color lifter and I'm going to pull that color in. And I'm trying to avoid the black so that the black doesn't bleed. And we'll just bring that in a bit. That will help lighten that up at the edges and bring it in. I'm pulling the color toward the center. Okay. All right, so that's that. We've got that done. We can set this aside. All of this stamping is complete. Let's put our pieces over here. And let's bring in our Simply Scored tool. So we've got our Simply Scored tool. And we've got a piece of Night of Navy. And this piece of cardstock is 6 inches by 5.5. Okay, so on the 6-inch side, we're going to score this at, I'm going to bring in the template here for you. We're going to score that at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3.5 inch, and 4.5 inch. And on this one, it doesn't matter which way you rotate it, because when you rotate to the 5.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 and 1.5, then flip it 180 and score it again at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches. Okay, so that's all of our scoring. Excuse me, I'm going to get a drink real quick. Okay, so then we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to fold on all of those score lines. Okay. Just like that. Okay, when you're looking at this template, the 5.5-inch side are the sides, the 6.5 or the 6-inch side is the top and the bottom, and the top is this piece that has the larger section here, the 1.5-inch section, and the bottom has two 1-inch sections here. Okay, I'm going to start on the top. I'm going to flip this around because if I don't, I mess it up. Okay, so then we're going to take and we're going to cut on the second score line from the right, and we're going to cut up to the second score line horizontally. And I'm cutting right to the left of that score line. And then on this one, I'm going to do the same thing here, but the second score line from the left down to the second score line horizontally. And this time I'm going to cut just to the right edge of that score line. Okay, so then I can get this out of the way. And now I'm going to go down again to the second score line. I'm going to cut just to the first score line right there. And then I'm going to cut on this long score line down to that cut I just made. Okay. And I'm going to remove that skinny piece. And then I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to cut this right at the score line and remove that. Okay, so in essence, we've removed the three outer rectangles here. And we're going to repeat that on this side. So we're going to cut this one down to that second horizontal score line. Cut up to the first score line and remove that long section. And then we're going to cut that off. Okay, now these are going to be our inside flaps. So I'm going to go ahead and angle those on either side, and that will completely remove those score lines, anything that you have left on there. Okay, now we're going to come back to this side, and we're going to cut. You've got a score line here and a score line here, and we're going to cut on this score line up to the second horizontal score line here. Okay. Here's our template. And then we're going to cut here, the second score line in up to the first horizontal. And then I'm going to cut on this score line up and remove that section, both of those rectangles. I'm going to fold this in, and I'm going to remove that first tiny little section there. And then I'm going to angle cut my glue tab. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And then we're going to repeat that over here. So first of all, I'm going to cut up here to that score line, and then I'm going to go over to this first score line here and cut up to that where we just cut and liberate those two rectangles. Okay. And then we're going to cut up again on the next score line. Move that out of the way. and remove this small rectangle here and angle cut our glue tab. All right, so now this looks like our template, okay, but we need to round this is our top flap, so we need to round those corners. So any corner rounder that you have on hand, or you can hand cut them. Okay, so now our cardstock looks exactly like our template. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and add our designer series paper because it's easier to add it now. And I'm going to bring in the 22 to 24 in color 6x6 paper stack. You get 4 sheets of each of these designs. So you'll get 4 of these circles, 4 of the stripes, and then on the back of these is leaves, a floral pattern, and then this other pattern. So you get 4 each of those of the 5 in colors in a 6x6 paper pack. All right. So I've already, for my sample, I already started using this piece of Pretty in Pink. But I wanted to show you how I cut this. Because with this one sheet of paper, you can get 2 of the treat boxes out of a piece of cardstock, and you can get 2 out of the designer series paper as well. So I need to cut this at 2 3/8. So I'm going to do that first. And actually, I'm going to go just a hair under 2 3/8. Okay. Then I'm going to set this piece aside. And my first cut is going to be at 7/8 of an inch. So I'm going to turn this to the long way, and then I'm going to cut it at 7/8 of an inch so that my piece is 2 3/8 by 7/8. And this piece, let's see if I can get this in here. This piece is going to go here, and this is going to be our front flap. And then we need to cut another one of these for the top. So we're going to go another 7/8 of an inch. And that's going to go here. And if you have a directional paper, that doesn't look like I cut it wide enough. Did I not? Oh, I didn't. I didn't cut it at 2 3/8. Oops. I mismeasured, peoples. Sorry about that. That was silly. Measure twice, cut once. Okay, so let's do it right this time. So we've got 2, that's the 3/8, so it's the little one here over the quarter. It's between the quarter and the half. And then I'm going to bring that back just a hair. Now I really do have it at 2 3/8. Okay. And then we'll cut at 7/8 of an inch. Much better. And then 7/8 of an inch. And then this one needs to be 1 3/8. So I'm going to cut this one over on this side, and this is 1 1/4 here. And this to the white is 1 1/2, so 1 3/8 is this mark right here. So we'll put that right there. And I'm going to cut this, and that's going to fit here. Now, my next 2 pieces are my side pieces. And they also need to be 1 3/8 inches tall. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece of paper at the 1 3/8 inches. Set this aside, or we could use it for our back, which is what I did. And then we're going to take this and cut 7/8 of an inch and 7/8 of an inch. And then all the waste we'll have is this little piece right here. And this one, I'm going to go ahead, I've got it extra, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this at the 1 3/8 inch as well. You barely have anything to cut off, just this tiny little strip. And then this will fit on the back of our box. Okay, and if you cut that properly, you can get 2 out of a 6x6 sheet of paper. So we're going to put this on the back of the box. These are going to go here. And I need to round the corners of these two so that it matches the rounded corners here. So we're going to take our corner rounder again, and we're going to round the two corners. And that one I didn't do quite right. Let's fix that up. I don't know what I did. Just going to make it work though. We'll be fine. Okay. And then we're just going to add these to our box. And then we'll assemble. It's just much easier if you do it on a flat surface. Got too much glue there, darn it. If I'm going to do that, I might have to go to my fine tip if this is going to come out too fast. Okay, so we've got this. Put our sides on. See how everything's going. And I got my order in for my free shipping last night. So now we'll just wait for it to ship. And then we'll have some more new product to play with. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this in here. And then this is our last piece. We can assemble, decorate, and be done with this. Okay, there we are. Now for the adhesive on this one, we're going to put adhesive here and here. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's going to go on the outside of the box. And I'm going to put my first set of adhesive right next to the score line so that I don't have a gap when I put my box together. And then I'm going to put this at the edge so that it lays down flat and my treats going in don't catch the edge. So we've got two pieces we'll put here, and I'll do the same thing on both sides. And then I'm going to flip this over, and this piece on the end, not the rounded quarter one, on the very edges, the outside edges here, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape right at the edge there. And right at the outer edge here. Okay, So there's all of our adhesive. And I'm going to burnish that down. Okay, then we'll bring in our take your pick tool because that's the easiest way for me to get the backings off. And I'm going to pull these tabs first on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to fold this, excuse me, I'm going to fold this in, and I'm going to have this cut edge meet my score line here. Take your time here and make sure that those edges are nice and even so that your box comes out square. Give that a press. Move over to the other side and push that in. Cut edge to the score line. And then I like to bring in my bone folder here and give this a good press on the inside and burnish that really well. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and fold those inside. I'm going to take some of the Ghirardelli minis. I got these at Costco, and this is going to fit 3 of these perfectly. And I'm going to put those in now so that when I take this backing off, here and here, I've got a little bit of leverage there. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to push these in, and I'm going to bring the cut edge to the score line again, right there on that side, and press that down. And then I'm going to line it up over here and press that down. And then I'm going to flip my box and give that a good press on the inside with my bone folder. Okay. And then I can put my little treats back in there, and this is just going to fold over just like that. Okay, now to hold this closed, we're going to grab a Velcro dot, and these you can get at Joann's or you can get them online at Amazon. These are called the 3/8 inch thin clear fasteners. These are the ones I like for little projects, and this is what the packaging looks like. 3/8 inch thin clear fasteners. You get 56 of them in a package. And then I'm going to remove the clear side. Oh, actually, yeah. No, 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 no. That's not what I want to do. Hang on. No, it is what I want to do. Whew. And then I'm going to put this down here at the bottom, right at the bottom of my designer series paper in the middle. As close to the middle as I can get it. I'm going to give that a good press. Then I'm going to remove my other clear piece of backing here and expose the white section. And then I'm going to line everything up and press that in place. Okay, now if you don't have the Velcro or you don't want to do that, you can always take a piece of ribbon and tie it around. The ribbon just did not fit my design. Again, I'm going to take my bone folder in there and give that a good burnish on the inside, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the outside of that flap. Okay, put our minis back in, and now our box is finished. So let's go ahead and decorate. We have our pieces ready, other than we still need to take some Wink of Stella and add that to the wings of our little bee here. Okay, we're going to take our blue Night of Navy label and some Stampin' Seal tape here. And I'm going to put this across the center like so. And I'm going to take my bee, a little circle, and I'm going to take 2 dimensionals. And I'm going to put my bee at an angle just like this. Try and center that. Okay, and then we've got our sentiment here. So I'm going to take the bee and I'm going to snip that up and snip over. Just going to hand cut it just like so. And then I'm going to bring in a pencil for the happy. And I'm going to draw. Oops, I don't want that so sharp. Draw how I want that to look. I'm going to trim that off so I don't have too much extra. And then I'm just going to follow that line. With my scissors. And there we go. And then any pencil lines that are left, I'll just take my white eraser here and remove that so nobody knows that I did that except for you. And then we're going to take and put a little liquid glue on the H, but I need a little mini dimensional at the back. And if we did this just right, and turn this upside down, my mini should just fit right there. Then I'm going to take just a tiny bit of glue. I'm going to take that backing off now. Take a tiny bit of glue on the happy part here. And I'm going to add this right there. Okay. And then I'm going to take my bee and I'm going to get half of a dimensional, half of a mini. Oh, it looks like I already have one cut here. Oh, maybe not. Just cut through the middle of those minis. And I want this on the bee. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to put just a tiny bit of glue on the other end. And right there. And then I'm going to stick this over here, like so. And the final touch for this is the Sparkle Gems adhesive pack. And let's get our take your pick tool And I'm going to take these white sparkle gems and I'm going to put them right at the ends of those little half circles there. And that is our box. Okay, pretty cute little treat box and very easy to make. Oh, thanks so much, Tracy. So glad you liked that. Very easy to decorate with those little, that was one of the first things I thought of when I saw that stamp set, was they're perfect for little treat boxes. Okay, but they're not just perfect for little treat boxes, they make some really cute cards too. So let's do that as well. Let me get a few things out of the way here. And we'll grab our next little bin. That will make us a cute little card for the winter. Because one of my favorite images in this stamp set is the adorable little penguin. So we're going to get some iridescent faceted gems to put on this one, and I want to show you just how low profile these gems are. They have so much sparkle and pick up so many different colors when you move them, but they are incredibly thin. So those will not cost you extra money to mail. In addition to the Choose Happy Stamp set, we're going to be using the Nested Essentials dies. And I have already cut the second to the smallest in basic white. Okay. And I've cut the second to the largest in basic black. I'm not 100% sure we're going to use this because my original card design does not, but I thought it might be kind of cool. So we'll decide together what you think. So we've got those. And then we're going to be using the iridescent striped trim. This is in the new catalog. It's 1/2 inch, gorgeous. And again, it's going to really pick up the light. I thought it was perfect to go with these penguins. Okay, so we've got a basic black card base, and this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the center at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of the Winter Meadow Designer Series paper. This carried over from the holiday catalog. And this piece is 3 3/4 by 5. And then I've got a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I'm going to layer these two together. This is actually going to be a landscape card. Pretty simple card, actually. And then for the inside, I took a piece of that same paper and I stamped my little penguin, and this is going to go on the inside. I did this same little penguin for my envelope. And we've got a piece of that iridescent ribbon. I cut it in half. This may not be long enough, but we're going to see. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our card. So let's start with our stamping, and we're going to move all of this off to the side. We're going to bring in our mat and our little piece, and then I need a little scrap piece of white. Okay, we're going to take our little penguin and Memento Tuxedo black ink. And I'm going to start in the center. And I'm going to put that guy down right there. hold that for a second. And then I'm going to move to the left. And to the right. Okay. And then let's set that aside. And I'm going to stamp one more penguin right here on my scrap. Oh, and then we need our sentiment. And that needs to say Winter Dreams. So let's get our Pretty Peacock ink, which, interesting. What did I do with my Pretty Peacock ink pad? Hold please, I must have put it in the wrong spot. Let me see where I stuck it that it doesn't belong, because it's not in its spot. And it's not in the, that is weird. It's not, oh, wait a minute. It's in my, got it. Okay. Then we need a little piece of basic white. And we're going to take Winter. Here's the dreams. Where's my Winter? Winter, here we go. Okay. So I'm actually going to take Winter and Dreams. I'm going to lay these right next to each other. Like so. And then I'm going to pick those up with a block and ink those up. And then stamp that down. Okay. And there is our saying. And again, I'm going to take this. This time, though, I've got a little bit more to work with. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And I'm going to lay that right there. I'm looking at the track line here, and I just want to make sure it's just above the W there. And then I'm just going to slice that. And then I'm just going to cut this end off. And actually, let's cut this down a bit. I didn't flag the ends on my original one, but I think I might flag it on this one and see what we think. So I'm just going to snip in the middle and then snip from the edge and snip from the edge. And then I've got a little banner. Okay. So we've got all that. Now, we have a little bit of coloring to do, not much. And we need the light pumpkin pie. And I'm just going to dot, literally just dot. The feet and the beaks. And I don't need to do that on the beak here. I am going to do the feet just in case. And the beak there. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to take and I'm going to fussy cut this. There's no dies, but it's a relatively simple a shape. So I'm just going to turn with my left hand, open and close the scissors with my dominant right hand. Keeping mostly in the center of the blades as I rotate that paper. Okay, so there's my little penguin. Okay, now let's go ahead and start putting this card together. It's almost done. Let's fold up our card, burnish that, and then we're going to put these two pieces together. Okay. Put this on here and center it up. And then we're going to add this. Okay. If you ever have a lip that's just a tiny bit longer, just flip it over and put the longer side on the front. No one will notice. Okay, so we've got that on. Now it's decision time. Do we want to put this and this? We're going to put some ribbon behind there. This is the original card with no black. Which do you prefer? I don't know, Tracy, that penguin is adorable. And I know we're not even close to winter, but I just couldn't not use him because he's just way too cute. I think we should use the black. Yes. Hello, Lynette. Okay. Let's go ahead and use the black. So we're going to go ahead and attach this with some Stampin' Seal. Welcome, Lynette. Thank you for participating. Okay, and you too, Tracy. Then we're just going to put this on here. And this is why I said I didn't know if my ribbon was going to be long enough because I've added extra distance. Okay, so the idea is to take this and put it on the back here like so. Oh, this is going to work. It'll work. So let's just put some adhesive on the back to catch that ribbon. And I just want it to stick out a bit here. Bring that up. And then I'm going to lay that like that, sticking that into the tape on the back. And then we'll loop this again and come out up top. And there you have it. Okay, I'm going to make sure I've got that in there. And then I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put some right over that tape, or that ribbon, to hold that in place, as well as give us some height here. I could have used the black dimensionals. I didn't even think about it until just this minute. Okay, and then we're going to add this to our card. Center that up. Now we're going to take our extra little penguin here, and we're going to pop him up, and we're going to place him right over the top of that penguin, just like so, just so it looks like he's standing out a little bit from the other two. And finally, we're going to take our, well, not finally, because we still need to put our gems on. We're going to take our Winter Dreams, and I'm just going to do this with some liquid glue. And move that ribbon out of the way. Put this up here like so. Okay. Now we can take our gems, which seem to be perfect for this project. And we're going to put one here, a small one here, and then I'm going to take one of the larger ones and I'm going to put it right down there. Okay. Then we'll add our inside, which I did not put a sentiment on. Center that in there. And there is our finished card, along with the matching envelope. Okay. So let's bring back in our little box. Those are our projects for tonight. Now I will have a third project on Thursday. That's really super cute, or I think it's super cute. That uses more of the stamps in this set. And here, let's go ahead. I can put this up. Put that out like that. And there you have it. All right. Thanks, Laura. Thanks, Tracy. Thank you, ladies, for your participation. I'm so happy to see you tonight. And I will be back on Thursday on YouTube. Okay? Good night, everybody. And don't forget free shipping until 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time tonight.